Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. This is Steven. It's been a while since I've posted, but today we're back in the Airstream to do one quick modification to the Globetrotter's wobbly table. All that coming up right now. So one of the things that's unique to the Airstream Globetrotter is the wraparound seating. You've got the furniture end there, and then the back rests are all fixed in place. And that's really nice, and they give you this table that is two different pieces. You can kind of see where they connect right there. And on those connections, there's a bracket. And the biggest complaint about this table is it tends to be a little bit wobbly. You can see the two different support posts. If I wiggle it, it moves a little bit. You can see it kind of moving there. It hasn't caused us any problems, but the one thing that kind of bothers me a little bit is these two pieces never seem to align quite right. And I've put spacers in the existing brackets to try to fix that, and it just seems that this table always seems a little bit taller than this one. Let's see if I can come around here and give you sort of an idea what that looks like. You can kind of see how it's misaligned there. So that wiggles around a little bit. So I've got some brackets we're going to try to install that will hopefully alleviate that minor annoyance. Now, if you are looking at a 2024 and a half Globetrotter, they've changed the design on this, and this is a smaller table. It's a little bit further out, and this back bench is fixed position. So the one thing I like about this one is you can sit two here and two here. With the other one, it's almost like you get one here, one at the back, and one here because of just the way it lays out. So we're going to try to just make this table a little bit less wobbly and the alignment a little bit better, and I'll show you what parts we're going to be using. Alright, so I picked up these brackets from Cabinet Parts. Here's a demonstration of what it will look like closed, connecting the two halves, and you can see there's a, because the table isn't aligned, that's got a little bit of wobble. Obviously I will be installing those on the bottom of the table, just putting them here for demonstration, and here's what they look like closed. So these inner little circles rotate, and then they connect together, connecting the two tables. These are for basically dining tables where you would pull the dining table apart and then put a leaf in the table and to connect the leaves up. And then to attach, we just have some panhead number 10 wood screws. Those are 3/4 in length. Obviously, drill from the bottom, and I will show you the drill bit that I use, and we just want to make sure that we don't go all the way through the table. So we're going to pop all these out, go to the shop, and give this a go. Okay, so here we have the two tables removed and just sitting on a flat table. And I'd like to show you the factory clamp Airstream uses. And you can also see my previous attempt at fixing this involved 3D printing a spacer to lift that bracket up where it clamps to try to adjust it. But it still seems that this piece still ends up being pulled the other way. And these brackets snap like this. And the other bummer is when you remove this table, you have this one and then they're upside down, but when you just have this one by itself, this bracket's just sitting here. And it just kind of dangles around and hits you in the knee or leg or whatever. So I'll probably end up taking those off if these other brackets work pretty well. And I've got the tape in here just for alignment purposes of this way and that way. So this edge right here is square. So we should be ready to go. I'm just going to start laying out where the new brackets are going to go, and we'll get going. Okay, so here's what I've come up with. I made a line right there at 4 inches from the edge because I'm not sure if I'm going to end up removing the stock bracket or not. I might still use it, but like I said, I don't like it how it hangs down, but we'll keep it there for now. We'll move these in, 4 inches in on this side, 4 inches in. You can see my line on that side. Seems to be pretty good placement. Now, what I did is I connected these two together and I kind of eyeballed it from there. I made sure that you could see, let me get my camera, see in there. I tried to center that line right under each of those screw holes on each piece, and then those little circles right there in the middle center those on where the split of the table is, top and bottom. There isn't really a square corner on this bracket that I can square it up to, and I don't know the measurements exactly between what those two holes should be to be able to transfer from one side to the other. I mean, I know this measurement, but I don't know between there and there. So we're just gonna eyeball this. It doesn't need to be absolutely perfect. I think just having that line, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill the hole, get those two screws in, and then I'll sort of use that. I'll put those screws in there. That'll align it enough to where I can then center those, drill those two holes, and make sure that I don't end up having to drill holes 2 times and messing the table up. One other small tip is I've got my professional stopper there on the drill bit, known as blue tape. You can probably barely see it. I don't know if it's going to focus on that, but just to make sure I don't drill all the way through the table, that would not be great. So next up, we're going to mark those 2 holes, drill, and see how it goes. Alright, got those 2 holes drilled, got the screws in, and that, when you connect these two, allows you to align it, and then you just have a little bit of play from one side to the other, and I just kind of split that difference between the two, like so. And then we'll drill those 2 holes right in the center. I'm using a 1/8 drill bit, by the way, for number 10 screws. The box said to use a 5/32, but you know, this isn't real wood, and I don't mind it if it's a little bit tighter fit. It's not going to split out, so 1/8 drill bit on these ones. Use one that you're comfortable with, but it's working quite well for me. On to the next. All right, so we got those last 2 screws in, and this actually aligned pretty well. It's a little tight in there, but you can do it with one hand, just like that. I think that's going to work out pretty well. We'll go ahead and get the other side done. Okay, so we're back. We have the table just connected with the 2 brackets I just installed. You know, and it's great. You can see as it moves as one. The best thing and the goal I was trying to achieve, this seam is perfectly flat all the way across. Those other brackets would make one of the tables pop up just because of how they pulled on the bottom together. So this is quite nice. It's still not like, I mean, I've never had any real complaints about the table. Once you tighten, if you tighten both of those pulls down real well, it doesn't wobble like, I mean, you can wobble it a little bit, but, and as you can see, I've got this bracket hanging down here. I don't have the original brackets attached. And that was one of the problems that I didn't like, is when you remove this rear table, or I guess you could call it the window side table, this table to put the rear seating, or the window seating, I guess you could say. So you have this table, and then that table removed for the window seating. What would happen is you'd have this bracket, and it's not such a big deal, but this bracket would just hang down here with nothing to attach to. So you're sitting here, and it doesn't really hit your leg's low enough, but it's like, it could. It's kind of just, it just wobbles there. So I'm going to be taking those off. Those aren't needed anymore. You can see this seam is perfectly flush now, which is exactly what I was trying to accomplish. So now we can have both tables, the other table, and we don't have to deal with these brackets on the side. So overall, I think those brackets were totally worth it. Again, those are called Conny table connectors, C-O-N-N-Y, and ordered from, let's see, where was it? cabinetparts.com. So that works pretty well. I'm going to take those factory brackets off, get rid of those things hanging down like that. They're not needed anymore. Hope this video helps you. If you decide to do this yourself, let me know. Put a note in the comments how it works for you. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.